Let's do this.
All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to CoviDevotion with Beez. I am your host, Beez. We have reached Friday. We are at the end of the week, and usually what that means for me is that when I reach the end of the week for the last COVID devotion for that week, I usually go and have a day of, hey, what's happening, my brother? I usually have a devotion like with it. I call it an attitude, having an attitude of gratitude, and that's when I reflect and kind of really and kind of probably center my devotion around something I'm really grateful for. But I'm going to be honest with you. Like this morning, I woke up feeling really nervous, and the reason why I'm feeling really nervous is because we got big news today. Yeah, I'm very nervous because the big news is there's a possibility that me and Karen might be getting a dog. I'll tell you more about that story a little later on, but the title of today's devotion is "Are You Still Willing?" And hopefully by the end of the devotion, hopefully one, it doesn't take too long. Secondly, I hope it makes sense, because I woke up this morning and I just felt really, really, really nervous. But the title of this devotion today is "Are You Still Willing?" The reason why is because I woke up this morning feeling nervous because there's this possibility that we might be picking up a dog or getting a dog, and just to give you a little bit and tell you a little bit of a story. I have wanted a dog for ages. When I was younger, we didn't have a dog, but yet my parents, when I was growing up, told me that they had a dog, two dogs in Mauritius, Blackjack and Roulette. Um, and then when we came to Australia, really keen on the dog. We never got a dog until I think I was like late teens, early 20s. I think my sister finally convinced my parents to get a dog. So we got one, but it was Anjel's dog. It was a family dog, but Anjel kind of said that she would take key responsibility for it. It was a vanilla lab called Millie. And and so that was the family dog. And then when Anil got married and moved out, Millie went with her. And then she got another dog as well called Zion. So she had two dogs. But for me personally, still to that point, I was glad that Millie was around. Glad that for that brief moment, I could say Millie was the family dog, and Zion was the family dog as well. But when I moved out and I got married, that was one thing that I definitely wanted as well, for myself, to have my own dog. I think the challenge was, however, with having a dog and renting, it makes it really tough. And because I'm in ministry and I'm a chaplain, sometimes the positions or the places I get placed, I move a lot. I think Karen will know, in the last 7 years, I think we've moved. In the last 8 years, we've moved like 6 to 7 times. It's been pretty intense. So that kind of stability, and also renting, we didn't have a permanent place, and some places that allow pets are really shady. So anyway, so we might be, because we will be here for quite some time. There is this possibility that we're picking it up. The reason why I say possibility is because we're going and we're getting a rescue. I've wanted a dog, right? And I really didn't mind. Like, if I could get a dog as a pup and kind of do that, I'd get a Rottweiler. They're gangster. They're awesome. But Karen was like, no, if we get a dog, let's give a dog another chance. Let's get an animal rescue. Let's go to animal rescue and get a dog that way. And I thought 100%, that's a great idea. And that's awesome. So we started going to RSPCA. We went to Sydney Dogs Shelter, Dogs and Cats. We went to other places all over the place. We joined Facebook groups, just trying to see, what was available and stuff. And I will tell you, the process is really hard, especially in Australia. And I think that's really good, because it's not just we're just giving away dogs. We're wanting to make sure that the dog is the right fit for the household, for the family. When they say forever home, They want to make sure it's a forever home, and it's not just, oh, we don't like it anymore, and back. The people want to make sure that there's a permanent place for this dog that is going to be taken care of. And so, yeah, I guess the reality of that made it a lot tougher for us to get a dog. So we started putting ourselves out there. We were like, we love this dog, we love this dog. We'd really like this dog, and we started getting knocked back. We started getting like rejections. We've gotten like 3 rejections so far, and yeah, it's really, it's not disheartening. Yeah, it is. It's disheartening and discouraging because we get the chance to meet these dogs, right? And we've met 3 of them so far, and it's been really tough. And then there's other dogs that are in like not interstate but in regional that have kind of said no sorry, no sorry, or just the setup is not good for the dog. And so I'm more and more I'm getting really discouraged until we were introduced to Luna. This is the dog that we might be getting today. And when I came, like when I wanted a dog, I said, this is the idea that I want. I want this, 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 this. But the more the chances of not actually having a dog, like these kind of obstacles and these roadblocks came up to me. And with Luna, it's really unfortunate that, I don't know, it's because of previous trauma. We don't know what the previous owner was like, but she's very uncomfortable around guys. She warms up more to girls. And so I was like, oh, okay. And me and Karen, when we were first having this discussion, we would agree that it'd be my dog. It'd be the family dog, but I'd be the main person to take care of it, to train it, to that kind of stuff. And when we went and met her, I was like, I met her. She's beautiful, beautiful. I think she's definitely an American Staffy cross something. I think she's American Staffy cross Pitbull. Adorable dog. But the foster carer said to us, you know what, if you do decide to take her, Karen's going to have to be the person to be the main carer for the time being, because she's more comfortable with females. And are you okay with that? And then in my head I was like, am I okay with that? And then I met I met Luna, and I was like, yeah, 100% I'm okay with that. And then like this hope was that there's still always training, there's always time, there's always patience. And I think the foster care owner, or the foster manager, or whatever they're called, was just encouraging. She's like, yeah, she will, but it'll just take time. It will just take time. But there was another carer that said, hey, but the reality is there potentially might not be that thing where the connection will be with you. It might be just with Karen, and you are just the person that's there, but she won't feel connected to you. And all of a sudden, that question, are you still willing, came to my head. Like, are you still willing? And that's what I wanted to talk about today. That was the topic. Are you still willing? Are you still willing to take this dog, knowing the fact that they might potentially not like you as much as they like Karen, or potentially that though you wanted the dog, whether you were the main person that wanted the dog, are you willing to know that this dog might not be attached to you the way that you want it to be attached, the way that you want to have this relationship and this connection? Are you still willing to take care of this dog? Are you willing to still take this dog, knowing full well that the dog might love Karen more? And in my heart, I was like, that sucks, man. That sucks, because I wanted the dog. But at the same time, when I met Luna, I'm like, 100%. There was no doubt. And I want to read a passage. And the passage, and this is the reason why I'm grateful. The reason why I have a heart of gratitude, and I don't know, but my emotions are right here, right now. Like, I've got a lump in my throat for some reason, and it's really weird. But yeah, like, and I think it's because I'm really nervous. I'm really nervous for today. Yeah. So what I wanted to do, like, this is the passage, and the passage is found in Hosea chapter 3, verse 1. And the story of Hosea is basically God saying, I need to show someone what I'm wanting to do for the children of Israel. I'm needing someone to understand that the relationship that I have for my people is this. And so he goes to Hosea, and I'll read you first. Hosea chapter 1, verse 2. And the reference is, when the Lord began to speak through Hosea, the Lord said to him, go, marry a promiscuous woman, or a prostitute, and have children with her. For like an adulterous wife, this land is guilty of unfaithfulness to the Lord. So and then in verse 3, he said, he married Gomer, that was the woman, daughter of Diblaim, and she conceived and bore him a son. For me, it was really like, it blew my mind that God is like, the way that I feel towards towards the people of Israel, I need someone to understand. And what he said to Hosea is like the way that I'm going to encourage you to go and marry your wife Gomer, or marry this woman Gomer, though she's a prostitute, that doesn't matter about you and who you are. You are called to love her. You are called to, provide for her. You are called to, do all of these things for her unconditionally, irrespective of what she does to you. Are you willing to do that? And then Hosea does. He goes and he marries Gomer, and he bears, I think in the beginning, he bears 3 children: a son, a daughter, then a son. And God is saying, like the way that you are doing this and your willingness to do this for Gomer, that's what I'm willing to do for the people of Israel. That's what I'm willing to do. Though they might not want to be with me, though they are living a life of unfaithfulness, though they are living a life, surrendered and committed to other things that they hold so high, I'm still willing to love them. I'm still willing to love them without condition. But the passage that I want to talk about today specifically is Hosea. I keep on saying Hosea. Hosea chapter 3, verse 1. And then it says, and the title of this one in my Bible says, Hosea's reconciliation with his wife. The Lord said to me, the Lord said to me, go show your love to your wife again, though she is loved by another man and is an adulteress. Love her as the Lord loves the Israelites, though they turn to other gods and love the sacred raisin cakes. God goes to him and says, go to your wife again. That's the one that I'm wanting to hit home today. The question is, are you willing? It's, are you still willing? And Gomer, God says to Hosea, Gomer's left you. Like in chapter 2 and in 1 and 2, Gomer, Hosea's wife, leaves him again and goes back into this life of prostitution. And because many reasons, because that's what she knew, that's what she that's what she relied upon, that's what she had faith in, that's what probably was where her safety was, and all of these things, and she left Hosea. And then God says, I need you to go again and buy Gomer back and take her back and be that husband to her. Are you still willing to do that? Why? Because the reason why I'm explaining this to you and what I'm encouraging you to do is, I want you to demonstrate the love that I have for the people of Israel. I need you to demonstrate that love to Gomer, that irrespective of what she does, you will still love her and you will still give anything to have her with back. So when and so the reason why I was thinking of this is because when the manager of the dog foster care place, asked me that question, saying, knowing full well that, she might not have that connection and it might not ever happen. Are you still willing to do that? Like, are you still willing to take care of this dog? Are you still willing to take care of this dog? And what taking care of it means. Are you still willing to do that, knowing that that real connection might be with Karen? And in my head, I was like, for me personally, yeah, I am 100%. But while I was going through that, and this morning, I woke up really grateful that God is willing to do that for me each and every single day. That every single time I reject him, every single time I leave him, every single time, because of my past, because of my trauma, because of the things that I don't know about, because of the sin that I still have, because of every one of those reasons that I leave God is still willing to buy me back. God is still willing to say, no. I'm still willing to give you not just 1, 2, 5 chances, but I have died for you. I have died for your sins. I came and sacrificed myself for you. There is no greater love than this, than that a man should lay his life down for his brothers. And for Jesus Christ to have made that ultimate sacrifice for me, knowing full well that I would continuously um, leave him and reject him and separate myself from him. What I love is that God was still willing to bring me back, and he's constantly he's constantly doing that. So the question for God that I pose to him is, are you still willing? Are you still willing? Time and time again, every single time I reject you, every single time I walk away from you, every single time I turn my back on you, are you still willing to bring me back? And his answer is always yes. And so for me, I have such a heart of gratitude this morning, knowing that, right? Knowing that we love because he first loved us. I have the capacity to adopt a dog that might love Karen more than me. And I'm like, okay with that, because I know that I received that love first, that God was willing to love me unconditionally, that I was the Gomer in the story. And I'm not the Hosea, I'm the Gomer in the story. And God was still wanting me back. And he was still saying, I'm going to sell everything that I have, or I'm going to give everything and do whatever it takes for you to be back with me. I guess the word of encouragement that I have for you is that, like God did that to Israel, like God did that for me, God is willing and continuously willing to do that for you. And so if you are going through a season where it's like, I am beyond the point of worthiness for what I have done, I am not worthy of going back to God, and I am out there, and I've separated myself so far from God that there is no turning back, or I'm a lost cause. I need you to understand that this morning, that if you ask the question to God, are you still willing? He will say, I am still willing. I will always be willing. And you need to understand that. You need to understand that it's not about you and what you've done, but my capacity to love you unconditionally that will make me confident in saying, I am still willing each and every time. I really hope you receive the blessing from that today. And I hope you have, and though you might be struggling with that idea, I pray that the Holy Spirit is able to transform your heart so you will understand that. So, like me, you can celebrate having a heart and have a heart of gratitude for what God is willing and still willing to do for us each and every single day. Let's have a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this morning and the reminder of the story of Hosea and Gomer. And Lord, I just pray that you remind us that we are able to celebrate you, that we are able to celebrate who you are and what you're willing to do each and every time. And that's to bring us back into a relationship with you. Lord, I thank you that you are the one that stands at the door and knocks, and it's up to us to invite you in. And it's not the other way around, that we will never have to bang on your door and ask for a reconciliation with you, because you're actually outside, running towards us, embracing us, wanting to reconcile and reunite with us each and every time. I thank you that in the midst of our sin, that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. And so, Lord, I thank you for your sacrifice. I thank you for your unconditional love, that you were willing to lay your life down for us and pay the price that was for us. Thank you for dying on the cross. Thank you for raising from the dead and defeating death itself. And as you you're ascended into heaven, may we be confident. May we be reassured that you are still willing to bring us back. So, Lord, I pray that we connect with you. May we have a great, brand new experience of who you are this morning, so we can celebrate you, celebrate your love, your mercy, your compassion, and your grace, and celebrate salvation found in you. Thank you for being the Hosea in our Gomer story. I ask this on your, be with us today. I ask this on your loving name. Amen. Thank you so much for joining me for COVID with Beez. I am your host, Beez. We're in, for those of you who are still keeping track, we've been doing this for week. We're in month 5, week 1, day 5 a.m. Hope you have a great weekend. I'm going to shut it off. I might go on Twitch live later if you're live on Twitch, just there to answer any questions that you might have. But yeah, I will see you Monday morning for COVID devotion with Beez. There might be a location change simply because I got to go back to work in the school. We're allowed to do that now, so that's awesome. Yeah, until then, until next week, Monday morning at 9 o'clock, please have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay blessed. Peace out. Much love. Hey, and keep praying for today. That's what sorry, I just was thanks, Mom. Thank you. I just need to kind of say, please keep praying for us today that things go well with Luna. Because if not, hey, I don't know what my devotion is going to be like on Monday. I'll probably be a wreck. Yeah, but yeah, thy will be done, God. But yeah, let's make sure it happens. Anyway, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. Much love. Peace out. God bless.